Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 376th Knowledge Seekers Workshop for April 15th, 2021. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond. I'll be a host today. And as usual in these workshop series, we're joined with Mr. Mayran Keshe of the Keshe Foundation, who will be presenting today's show. Hello, Mr. Keshe. Are you ready to begin?
Yes, ready, able, and willing. Good morning, good day to you as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to the series of knowledge seekers of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. And we welcome you back in a way to add to the knowledge. Today, we are deeply saddened and we offer our condolences to the Iranian nation and to the Iranian government and to the Iranian leadership. In a horrific accident in the past few days, Natanz nuclear power station research center, which was to become the center for education for Keshe Foundation in teaching the newest space technology, has been damaged heavily. We have lost a number of people, and we offer our condolences to Natanz Nuclear Power Center and to the Iranian nation for this accident. The causes and how it started is unknown. But as usual, in the Keshe Foundation, we see positive things in everything which could be negative. In a way, this accident, this incident, can open a new door, can bring a new opportunity for peace in a way that in transferring the knowledge of the nuclear industry to public through plasma technology for Iranian scientists who are devoted to serving peace becomes, in a way, one step further. I offer my condolences to the families of personnel who have lost in this accident. And in so many ways, how it has happened, maybe we find a positive move with this. And I advise the Iranian leadership to stay calm and collected, and in a way, use this opportunity to show the what I call beauty of the nation, beauty of humanity. I'm sure in due course, we will know everything behind it. The scene we have seen on a power station is horrific, but in a way, Iran nuclear technology will not stop. The leading scientist in space technology of nuclear industry of Iran is on the camera and will lead the humanity to peace. In so many ways, mankind has to still learn what does the nuclear processes means? What does the process of change of the energy to plasma means? How do we change nuclear interactions, nuclear energies, radiations, magnetic fields at the strength which does not carry particles but fields, gamma rays, cosmic rays, and above, can be changed into energies of the matter, energies of the field of plasmas, which can bring condition of life. In so many ways, our present knowledge in a plasma nuclear is very, very, very fragile, very thin on the ground. In so many ways, we have not understood the process of conversion, where the fields can come together and make a plasma. In the background in Keshe Foundation archives, we made a video like this some time ago. I think Rick can reach it very quickly, where the fields come and they create a plasma. If you can put that up, Rick, please. If you got your computer ready for such a position. This video was made originally a few years ago by knowledge seekers, where we see fields become plasma, and then this plasma becomes the source of life, become source of existence. In the process of the knowledge, in the process of understanding, we have referred to the soul of the man to be the sun, to be the center where radiates fields, where plasma becomes fields, and in transformation and transfer from the center to outside, in interaction and in contacts and in balancing fields, it becomes the beauty of the knowledge and science of plasma nuclear technology. As we see in this video, magnetic fields coming from a source, the creator, coming from the plasma of the sun, coming from the plasma of the soul of man, in interacting with each other, they lead to creation of another plasma. They lead to creation of another source. These two rays could be the sperm and the egg, essence, which leads to creation of the soul of the man. In so many ways, mankind has to understand in these simple pictures, as you see, how the sun, the soul radiates out and back to itself as fields to become the plasma. This picture is very powerful if you understand it. This is the conversion of the plasma to plasma. And somewhere in the middle, can you go back to the picture and freeze it, please? The last picture. If we understand that somewhere in this process here, or somewhere in this process here, if the strength of the field is as the vision of the man, man will see the matter state, where in other parts it's not possible. In so many ways, now the totality of the creation is right in front of us. We come from the sun. We come from the creator. We come from the essence of creation. And in the process of the change in the field strength, we manifest ourselves in different structures and different materials in different parts of the same field. Then, now we understand. In a very simple way. And that is, we become in different states of matter, and we go back to. You look at it always as you come from and you go back to. But life exists in both directions, not in one. As much as we go on the gravitational, we go on the magnetical. In a way, this might answer some of your questions is there a parallel life? That one exists in parallel with the other in the same position as a mirror. We see these in cosmos. We see reflection of the galaxies, and we have to realize which galaxy is real and which one is a mirage, which one is the reality, which one is the fake. Is the soul of the man the reality, or the fake physicality of the man the reality? Is the physicality of the man the mirror of the soul of the man? That to us, in the strength of vision, we become visible, we become tangible. In so many ways, mankind, in becoming man of space, has to learn this, has to understand this. Go back to early teachings. We spoke about mirage. We spoke about what we call reflection galaxies, suns, where we see one sun, and in the horizon of the magnetic field from another galaxy, we see three. We see this in the northern hemisphere, part of Russia and part of Canada sometimes, the rise of three suns, where one is real and the other two are the interaction of the fields of the universe or the earth planetary fields. In this way, it comes to one point. Where does your soul sit? Is your soul the center that by interaction of its field, at one point in its transformation back to its source, becomes your physicality? Does the physicality rains back on the soul like the rain does on the surface of the earth when it reaches a certain point? Is the physicality the position of the boundary of the maximum strength that the soul of the man can radiate, and then through the circulation of the fields of the blood returns back to the soul, where in between we see the emotion? And is this the same when it comes to our Creator, where we come from, and in interaction of our emotions and the fields and circulation of magnetic gravitational fields, we, in interaction with the soul of the Creator, we create emotion between us and the Creator. In the world of creation, everything is the same. In the world of creation, nothing is different. One is replication of the other in different mass strength and what we call field gathering. Or in so many ways, the new knowledge of the man has to become the cornerstone of his strength in traveling the depth of the universe. When we look at this, and we can interpret different field, the strength of it, when we become to understand the power of it, then mankind will come to understand he has just started the journey to understand about himself. The journey in where he become more aware of the conversion of the fields into different dimensions and directions. If we take this to be the soul of man, and in interaction with the fields of the earth, this man has to create a physicality of itself in the new dimension and direction. Then we'll see what we call the brain. And in emotion, in interaction with the field of the sun, we will see in the boundary the physicality of the man in interaction with the field of the earth. But in the process of creation, mankind has not become educated enough to understand that the soul of the man is the center of the life of the man. In so many ways, mankind has to become aware of the transformation and reduction in the strength of the fields. The fields that can be part of the existence. The fields which can lead to the creation of the emotion in interaction with the fields of its own shell, with the environment of its existence. In so many ways, mankind has to be more aware of the process of interaction of the fields of the universe. One important point for man has been how these fields, in exchange and reduction and interaction with the amino acid of the man, create packages that we have called them different names according to their strength, according to their interaction, according to the gravitational magnetic fields within the fields of the shell of body of the man, that they lead to the creation of the organs, lead to creation of hormones, lead to creation of blood and immune system. We have to understand how this, in the process of the evolution of the man, has moved itself to the position and led to the creation of different systems within the body. This knowledge is important for mankind because when you learn to move your soul's energies to take a new position, you don't want to leave your kidneys, you don't want to leave your heart behind from where you came, and the rest is transmuted. In a way, mankind is standing still might not even, if he gets it right, replicate itself if he does not understand the process of creation. In so many ways, the knowledge and the understanding of the soul of the man, the energies and the fields that this soul radiates, that in interaction with the magnetic gravitational field of his environment, and the essence of the soul and the creation of the man leads to creation of the emotion, the physicality, and the totality of the life of the man. In so many ways, we have to learn in what points, in what positions does the soul of the man, when it radiates, what it leads to. What does it create? What does it bring about to manifest itself in the dimension of the physicality? In so many ways, mankind needs to understand the totality. Mankind needs to understand transformation, transmutation, and manifestation of the fields. What happened when you have the soul of the man, and in the soul, as it radiates an interaction with the fields of the blood of the man, at the point of the skull, this blood circulation leads to creation of engagement and control of the field strength, which from the soul reaches not only the environment of the man on the planet, but in the interaction of it with different fields that mankind might call the sadness, the happiness, the love, and whatever else emotions we create. Each one has a gradient in the strength. And in that process, the knowledge, the speaking, the physical, what we call manifestation, sits at the boundary of its brain, where inside dictates the rest. Different processes to reduce the strength of the soul of the man to become these emotions. What would they come from? If we look at the construction of the brain of the man, when we look within the structure of the brain of the man, where we said the soul of the man sits within it, then we find higher order systems which sit with within this structure, which leads to creation of materials and fields which mankind has called different things. In a way, by understanding the strength of these fields, we understand there is a soul which in its attraction of the fields with the soul of the physicality leads to creation of what is of the lesser strength from the soul that the body of the man can use. This brings us to a very important position and understanding of the creation of the man. Station by station, stepping down, you have the power station, and then you have a substation, and another substation, and another substation, and each substation in energy and field creates a new strength, new dimension. This is a 11 kilowatt power station, 22, 33 kV, and you go to the main substation, which divides this field, but receives more from the center, so has a bigger power. The soul of the man within the center of the brain of the man, in radiating out, creates these conditions. And one of these positions, which is one of the first substations, which comes from the interaction of the soul of the man's physicality with the soul of the man itself is where the body of the man in the center of the brain of the man creates what you call hormones. Hormones are the center of the first, one of the first step down from the strength of the soul of the man. But you have to understand, as every cell in the universe, every atom in the universe, in this universe, has a standard size and it becomes electron at a given strength position, and then it becomes a proton or neutron. Now we understand that in this process, receiving a high energy from the soul of the man, having a connection to the emotion, having a connection to the physicality, hormones are created. Then you understand what some of the most important power stations, those which dictate the existence of every soul of the man, is fed by a higher order from the soul in the shape of what we call hormones to every cell of the body of the man. In so many ways, mankind for the first time now understand the process of creation, where this hormone in interaction with a cell on the tip of your toe or a cell on in your heart does not need to create a line of interaction, but the field transfer from the powerful one to the weaker one has a direct connection. This is how, when we enter some of the fields of the body of the man, we feel the emotion. Mankind is not aware of the hormones, which is non-physical. We still call the hormones vitamin D, the way mankind calls radiations as vitamin whatever B's and E's and whatever else. So in this new understanding of the creation, mankind become to understand the interaction of the fields of his souls with every corner of his physicality has one neurosystem which reaches it, and one soul interaction field which comes in a dimension of higher strength plasma to the lower. That is how mankind, in understanding and opening the space technology, will live through the what you call hormones, what we call the first substation from the soul of the man, to be able to interact with other creatures in the universe. From the hormones down, it becomes the physicality of the man. From hormones up to the soul becomes the line of the transmutation and transformation of the knowledge and the physicality in every dominion in the creation. It is fundamental that we gather the knowledge in a correct way, and we can expand the knowledge the correct way. So when we see the hormones, we call it vitamin D, which is connected to the amino acid of the highest order gathering fields, and one point of physicality in the dimension of matter state of this planet, it leads to creation of a specific hormone. In a way, when we see all the hormones are connected with the amino acid. Our beloved Mr. Cohen. But they attach themselves to a matter state of this planet. Like anything you like. Sulfur, phosphor. Then we see high numbers of every element. 66 or 44 or 10 and 20s. If you look at these figures, it's very powerful. It has to be powerful that in transmutation has the capability to feed immediate to another Kohen, which is made of itself. This is the purpose, and this is the reason why hormones are created. When you look at the structure of the hormones, when you look at the understanding of the work of the hormones, then you understand why man has a physicality and a soul. One connects to the dimension of physicality and one connects to the dimension of the soul. There is a border barrier number in your periodic table where we see the change, where we see the conversion and the line of the change from what we call the matter state of this planet to the dimension of the energy and feel the strength of the soul of the man. When you look at the periodic table, look at where you are matter state in this environment and where you become the next step into the energy. You become part of the soul. You become part of the soul conformation, which leads to manifestation of the amino acids, creation, and connection with the strength of what we call universal hormones, universal lines of connection at the highest order. When you look at your periodic table, look at the sulfur. I've done this research some 14, 15 years ago, and in so many ways had the answer, and that led to be able to control many things. When you look at sulfur, look at the phosphor on one side, and then look at the chlorine and further up. Up to sulfur, we are more or less equal proton and neutrons. Thereon, we get additional neutron added to. And then the number of neutrons increases, which brings man in a new dimension of work, which brings the physicality and the balance in the life of the man in communication with his physicality, totally different way to the embodiment of the life of the man. Maybe for the first time, scientists can understand why phosphor has become the cornerstone of the DNA of the man, where the what you call variation in different plasma of phosphor allows the creation of the DNA, the backbone of the structure in connection with the amino acid without deviation in the strength. That means the strength of additional neutrons. In the future, I will explain this more. In so many ways, then this phosphor and sulfur become in a condition of the work of the body of the man with their different, what we call isotopes, and we call different plasma energies of the common denominator base. They become the cornerstone of life in transmutation and in the division of the cell of the man, where some hormones connect to the neutron and some hormones connect to the matter state of the proton. And in that position, in the body of the man, we even see nitrogen to take a place as part of the harmonic spectrum of the fields. In the future, when man reaches the understanding of the totality of the knowledge, you will find hormones which are above gold and plutonium and the rest what we know as a base common denominator. But the amino acid of the body of the man cannot support the connection to these in a matter state of the physicality of the life of the man on this planet. This is why in the future, when man travels the depth of the space, he can mutate and find position in transmutation of the energies of the man into the new dimension of life. To man, there are materials which we imagine to exist because we've seen the pattern of the creation of the volumes of neutrons and electrons. But in the world of creation of the creator, there is no limitation. So when we come to a higher order life, in different parts of the unicos, these factors and these strengths of the plasmas in the interaction of the soul of the man with the environmental condition will manifest themselves. So this allows man to manifest itself in the physicality of the life in any dimension in the universe. In this process, for the first time, maybe we can comprehend how as beings will transmute and we will transfer our energies from one point of the universe to another and still have the common denominator physicality of life in the essence of its source as the amino acid energy of man. Which means our amino acid will be protected and our physicality will manifest itself in the dimension of the strength of the fields of the time, place, and position. It means mankind has no limitation even to reach the essence of the what we call field strength to the nearness of the Creator. In the process of creation, mankind will come to understand it's the subdivision of the fields which leads to the creation of the subdivision of the matter itself. And if mankind become knowledgeable in transferring and transmuting the energy fields of the universe, he can create hormones to, in a way, be the subdivision of the field strength of the creation anywhere in the universe. For those of you who understand this, will understand one point, that once the soul of creation is created within the structure of the environment, that soul shall exist, and its dimension of physicality is in a way, in essence, within its strength, within its power to manifest itself in any dominion and position. In a way, we can seed, we can create condition of the seeding of the soul, and then transmute this soul to any point in the universe, and it will manifest itself without being within the womb of the mother, or uses the universe as the womb of the creation. In so many ways, the knowledge of the man from now on has to extend to the point that he understands the totality of the process of creation. And this is the purpose of these teachings: to open your knowledge, to open the books of the knowledge of the universe, to create the condition for understanding of the totality, for mankind to be so kind, to be able to understand the totality of the creation, not just to the physicality of the man, not just with the imagination of something is there, what we call the soul, and some of you in the physical dimension, you call it the spirit. In the teaching in the Italian interview last night, I explained in a very clear way what you call the soul and what you call the spirit. And for mankind has to understand, he'll have the same soul anywhere in the universe, but it will have different spirit according to interaction of the fields of its environment in the dimension of the soul of physicality in respect to its soul. In a way, in a simple language, we call the spirit the soul of physicality, and we call the soul of the man, the son, the creator, the essence of creation. And in the process between the soul and the spirit, we have what we need, or what we call the substations of the energy division in agreement between the two souls, that what we might call hormones, or what we might call another process in a division of, in a reduction of, in the interaction of the fields of the soul of the man with its own creation, its own creator. In a way, in the essence of understanding, the soul of the man is Adam, and the soul of physicality is the Eve. There is no difference in confirming the beauty of itself within itself. In so many ways, mankind has become mature to understand. Mankind has become mature to distinguish between the two, with the teachings which has been done in past few years through the knowledge which we have transferred. In so many ways, we see the soul and we let the physicality take shape according to the beauty of the soul and the creation of itself. In so many ways, we use the dimension of matter state transmutation and transformation to create the basis for the soul of physicality of the man, where in the dimension of creation of the soul of physicality of the man, in the balanced fields of the present earth condition, atmospheric, and creation of its own amino acid of its life, we find phosphor to be the backbone of what you call the structure of the soul of the physicality of the man, or your DNA. Above that, of the higher order, we go to the dimension of what we call the RNA, or what we call the hormones, and we call the diversion and division of the strength of the soul of the creation and the creator. In so many ways, the past half an hour of teaching has opened a new door in the knowledge of the creation for mankind. And it's for you as the knowledge seekers to open this door, to extend the knowledge in coming time. In the teachings, which will start very soon from Iran National Defense University on the what we call the structure of the Keshe, we will teach the scientists of the world how to trace, how to develop, and how to reach the understanding of the process of the creation through interaction of the fields of the plasma, through new radiation and nuclear understanding of the work of the soul of the creator. In a way, we open the door to knowledge of the creation. And there is no place better than where the soul of the man has found peace within himself, within the structure and the position to be near to the soul of the creator. Man needs to understand his position in respect to his soul, in respect to understanding of his totality. If we look in another way, is the soul of the man in a way the soul of the physicality of a fraction or a division of the soul of the creator? In so many ways, the answer is yes. In so many ways, by reflection of the fields of the strength of source, or what we call the creator, in interaction with the dimension of the fields of not only the soul of the man, but interaction with the soul of the galaxy, with interaction with the soul of the solar system, with the interaction of the soul of the earth, we create the soul of the man as a division, but in connection to the soul of the creator. I have created the man in the image of myself. We come from and we go back to. But in essence, to be able to transmute and travel the spaces of the creation doesn't matter. Galaxies, universal, unicos. We have to understand what strength the soul carries in the position where it interacts with the soul of the environment, which leads to the creation of soul of its physicality. In a way, maybe from now on, the scientists look at the DNA in a totally different manner, not as collection and interaction of 32,000 or whatever, 300,000 combination, but in totality of the fields, in the interaction with the environment, which leads to the creation of every cell of the man. The hidden code is in the strength of the phosphor, not in the strength of the amino acids. In a way, when you get a deviation in the genetic defects, what we call of the human body, the present scientists always falsely look at the position of the amino acid in the chain and in the number, where in reality they have to look at the deviation in the spiral, in the spine of the amino acid and the phosphor, where is the building block. In a way, when the scientists realize that the phosphor in the DNA of the man is a pillar of the building, and the amino acid branches of it are the floors built on it. When a change comes is when the pillar has a slightly different strength. When the scientists realize by changing the strength, by supporting the strength of the phosphor in a given environment, the whole thing will come into balance. And then you will have no more what we call defects. In so many ways, mankind becomes knowledgeable in understanding of the totality. Today, the present time, we have coded what we call the DNA of the man. But in reality, we have not understood that the coding depends on the strength of the pillar, on the strength of the phosphor which comes from it, which is the essence of the connection of its higher order strength in a physical direction and dimension in respect to the soul of it. It's the energy from the soul which dictates the phosphor to be the backbone of DNA and nothing else. And the world of science has not understood this. We do everything to change the defect on the arms of DNA structure, but we don't understand that this defects, this juggling of balancing has come from the defect in the phosphor itself, because the amino acid strength to be on the chain is always the same common denominator. It's in a way like what I call the trapeze on a wire. You want the trapeze to stand straight, the ball and the arms stand horizontal. The minute there is a slight movement on the wire, then the whole body has to move to balance it out. That movement of the wire for the trapeze is, in fact, what we call change in a phosphorus structure. The rest of the movement of the trapeze comes from that point, and then it becomes a defect and needs correction. If the world of science and the scientists of the man come to understand this, there shall be no defects. There shall be no what we call handicaps, no need for genetic modification, because when you provide what it comes in the right strength, there is no need for modification, but the actual truth about the structure will stay the same. Man will become peaceful because, in a way, even the essence of peacefulness in man comes within the structure of his DNA in the interaction of the field and the balancing of the trapeze of the structure of the amino acid. Maybe when the scientists listen to this teaching of today, will understand the process of the creation. Will understand how in the future, in the depth of space, mankind will become the possessor of the knowledge to create its own DNA or its own configuration by controlling the trapeze in the arm and not by the change of the strength of the string. In a way, I love to have a blue eyes and I love to have a blonde hair today, and I don't need to go to hairdresser and bleach it and color it to yellow and wear another lens tomorrow. But in the essence of the strength of the soul of the man, I can change my color the way I like. This is the way the whole creation exists in the universe. We don't have clothing manufacturing in the universe. We don't have chemical plants to produce chemicals to change the color of the man. The knowledge of the travelers of the universe has reached to the level that they understand the change in the strength of the soul at a given point in interaction with his environment, and the desire of the soul of physicality will give the man the dressing of the universe, where we do not need to wear clothes to hide what we do not want to be seen, but we create the emotion in the fields of the hormones of the physicality that our body will be shown in the direction of love. If you want to be my lover, you see everything I have. If I'm in public, in the creation of dimension of the soul of the hormones and understanding of it, I cover myself that I'm not visible to you because it's not in the direction of the strength of your vision. In so many ways, in the depth of the space, we don't carry not only food, we don't carry not only the material, we don't carry any clothing for you, because now you understand how to clothe yourself. In a way, in the ancient time, when the Muslims came to Iran, they asked the man of Zoroaster to cover their women. And the response was simple. We cover our eyes that our women are free. In a way, we create that dimension in our own soul, that in so many ways we create in the essence of the translation of the myth into the reality, that we see what we are allowed to see by the creator of the life. The vision of soul sees no physicality. In so many ways, with the knowledge of today, I open for you another dimension in man's understanding. But the biggest problem for knowledge seekers and the scientists of the man is how to feed the soul of the man and how to allow the soul in what strength to release fields that leads to the creation of what the man wants to be. Manifestation of the physicality, creation of the hormones to create the condition of life. In so many ways, if you look in a very hidden way, but in a very direct way, within the soul of the interaction of the life, I showed this in the life of Naomi. None of you have realized how we gave life back to this beautiful woman, because we used the strength of the soul and not the strength of the amino acid. The doctor said that the brain is like being put in a mixer for 10 minutes to the father. And now we see we have created a perfect brain, that no one can even see the deviation, because we use the dimension of the soul to interact and provide the strength of the love of the father to create the brain, because he was the seed of the creator. This is the knowledge which is hidden to man. This is the knowledge that today we open up. This is the knowledge that the man needs to create his own brain anywhere in the universe, irrespective of the place, the time, and the position. In so many ways, as I said, as we go deeper in the teachings, we open the hidden knowledge of the universe. Is for the man to understand the totality. We are not the messengers, but we are the creators. We are the part of the creation who understand the process of creation. We are the creator. And in that, we share knowledge unconditionally now that the man has matured to understand the totality. In so many ways, mankind needs to be more kind to himself to understand what kind of man this mankind is to be kind of. As I said many times, the knowledge of creation is simple. If man takes the prejudices of knowledge and creates limitation for his own intelligence. Look at your soul on the screen and you decide what emotion and strength you want to exist in, what strength of the hormone you want to carry, and create a condition for its existence, where in totality, it's you who decides the division and the leakage of the soul's energy to different parts of your existence. You decide the position of the helix and the position of the arms of your amino acid in the direction of the DNA, or you go through the field interaction of the soul, what you call the amino acid of the soul of the man in the dimension of the soul, and create any color, any race, any beauty of the creator within yourself. 1 second you become a flower in a pot, and another you become a lion in the jungle. The soul of the man, in understanding of totality, will decide its point of manifestation. You do not need to travel the depth of universe to find out what you're going to be and how you're going to look. Test your strength of understanding of the knowledge and see in what strength and division and the interaction of the hormones of your body you want to manifest yourself as. Can you become a flower and the next to become light? This should be a very much what I call a sandbox for mankind to start to understand. Can I become the man of peace and manifest myself in that dimension and direction? This is why we've said in many of the teachings, the time of the punishment of the man is over, because the only person who can punish the man is man himself, in development and the understanding of the totality of the knowledge of the Creator. Those who understand and fall within this structure will go further. As I always said, I teach and I show according to the understanding of those who are near me and those who understand the knowledge. You cannot teach more as the comprehension of understanding of the knowledge is not there. Like a father, step by step, we give the first step, we hold the hand, we watch the toddling, we see the falling, and we give a hand to rise the man, to stand up and walk again. Now it has reached the point that the man has to do this walking, that the man needs to understand the totality of the creation of the soul of the man, and the subdivisions from the hormones to, what we call the DNA, and then creation of the cell, and the totality of the manifestation of physicality in a given dimension, and the direction and the strength of the fields of its environment. In a way, you can sit in a chair, or you can be a man on that chair in 1 second. And with understanding of the transmutation of the fields and the strength of interaction, you become the bird on the same chair, or the lion. Or if you choose, you can manifest yourself by changing a slightly second layer of the field of strength to the dimension of the fields of entity, life, which can manifest itself in another dimension in the universe. If you can create a second, what we call limitation of the soul as a new environment, then you can create the manifestation of the physicality within it. In a way, you shall see me if I decide on the chair as a man from planet Zeus. How I look in that planet, how you will look when you arrive in that place and position. In a way, we create manifestation of physicality by the interaction of the creation of the fields. I have hidden this knowledge in the teachings of the past, but for the first time, I can open it up that you can understand. If you go back to some of the teaching of the past, I explain as part of the defense technology what we call the manifestation of physicality in a different dimension and direction. If you go back where we show the UFO, and then in a hidden way, we created what we call magnetosphere around it. And I explained that by interaction of a secondary field inside, we can create another zone around it, where this first zone was, for example, going clockwise, and the second zone anti-clockwise. In a way, in the teaching, I explain if something comes from outside, will be reflected back as it will not enter the zone, as there's two different directions. Now that you understand the operation and what I just explained, your soul can create this new atmosphere of the position and the place where you want to be. And through it, you shall see the manifestation of that place and point with your visual eyes. In a way, there is no difference in the knowledge of creation. In the past, I put it in the term of defense technology in the space. Now that you're knowledgeable, you can see how you will look in the new dimension and direction on this planet without moving to another position, without traveling the span of the universe, without becoming involved and entangled with what we call different sources of energies in the universe. In a way, if you understand more, and when you become knowledgeable more, you can become the shape and the colors of your ancestors, as you can create the condition of the time and the place they live. Is this what you call back to the future? Is this understanding of the totality as your life, your cycle of life is another layer on the dimension of the creation of the life, of the transmutation of the fields of the plasma of the soul of the man. Your life is another layer in the layer of that onion, which is just grown from inside out, and the center stays the creation of the origin. In so many ways, your ancestors, the knowledge, what they heard, what they've seen, sits within these layers, that it reflects, in essence, then creating your life to expand further. In so many ways, many of you will say that you want to go back in so many ways in the history of what your ancestors was. If you understand this knowledge, if you understood the effect and the work of the plasmatic hormones, then you understand how mankind has access to the totality of the knowledge. As in fact, where you lived and you go towards inner origin, at the same time, at a different strength, this line can be back to origin of understanding the creator, where the creator is at the center. And now, not only you carry the DNA and the field strength of the hormone of the man cycle on this planet as it is, but parallel with it, you carry the cycle of the soul of the creator with it. So the life of the man at this point is a connection and the interaction and a manifestation between what has come through the history of the timeline of the universe and unicos and the timeline of the amino acid of the man at this point of time. This is how mankind has access to the knowledge of the totality. Once he understands what we call the knowledge of creation and becomes mature in the totality of understanding of the creation. I made man in the image of myself, and I have never left man alone, as he is from me and is within me and is created by me in different strength. In a way, when we say we put 2 reactors in the lab with different strength, and then when we introduce a 3rd position reactor, will lead to the manifestation of the matter. Is this, on the other hand, the field strength from the soul of the creator? This, on the other hand, is the field from the soul of the DNA of the man? And is this the condition, atmospheric condition of the earth, which in interaction of the 3 with 1 leads to the creation of the man itself? Now we understand the totality of the process of the creation. Now we understand the maturity of the science and the knowledge of the creator. In a way, manifestation of the soul of the man at this point and time and the manifestation of his physicality not only carries the knowledge of the creation of the man from the point of inception on this planet, but that point itself came from and is the destined point from the interaction of the soul of the creator. I made man in the image of myself, as my soul is within the creation of the man which I have created. Maybe some of you have matured to understand this point, and with it, mankind would elevate to understanding of the totality of the creation. Maybe in understanding this, mankind opens new dimension and direction to peace, to understanding that in essence, when you destroy one life, you have destroyed part of the essence of the creator. And that is the punishment for the man who destroys life. Being away, being far from understanding is the biggest punishment for the soul of the man. When you mature to understand, you elevate yourself to be on the path, on the way to understand the totality of the creation. In understanding the punishment of the man, what you call hell, is not receiving the love and the knowledge of the creator. And there is no punishment worse than this. In the doldrum of the ignorance of creation. Those of you who enlighten to understand the totality will enlighten to understand the path to the creator, where there is no time, there is no space gap, and there is no place, as the totality is itself the creator, as in essence we all came and we all come from the same source. In so many ways, mankind needs to mature into this knowledge. In a way, mankind needs to understand the totality of the knowledge by itself. In a way, maybe, again, as we repeated many times, man become mature to understand the whole knowledge of the creation from the point of inception, from the creator to the point of his manifestation, is within the structure of the hormones, of the energies, of the embodiment of the man, within the structure of his soul. Maybe mankind become the kind of man that he sees no different kinds within the structure of the creation of the creator. Many of you will struggle with the physical life, because that's the path you have chosen to mature yourself. Many of you in a coming time will mature to the other dimensions and directions of the maturity of the soul. But in totality, mankind will stay perfectly in tune and reaches the point of maturity when his soul has radiated enough that his soul of physicality become mature enough that it become independent of physicality. Where the soul of physicality becomes reflection of the soul of man, where there is no need for manifestation of physicality to confirm the existence. And this is the way we promise the birth of the new cycle, a new life, that with this process, the newest structure shall take place. We are wise in all knowledge, but we are much wiser in understanding that the child needs time, place, and the development in understanding his own creation. The child being the man, and in a way for man to become kind enough to become the kind of man who become the kind of creator. In a way, mankind is a kind of creator, but man is not aware of it because he's entangled too much with the dimension of matter, state, and physicality. Maybe many of us will become mature to this point. Maybe many of us will become to understand the totality of the knowledge, and in understanding in the maturity of totality of the strength of the field of creation and creator. Maybe one day mankind will become mature to the totality of understanding. Maybe now you even understand why your DNA has a phosphor. Understand why, and how does this structure of the magnetic field of the creator creates a path for manifestation of the physicality. In so many ways, mankind needs to be matured into this knowledge. Mankind needs to understand the totality of understanding the strength of this knowledge. Maybe the time has come for the totality of understanding of the creation. Maybe in essence, we need to mature into this. We need time. We have to take time to mature into this, to understand the essence of our own creation, to understand the essence of existence, to understand the totality that we come from and we go back to. If we go back to the last picture of the plasma, break, please. Now we understand we are always within. We are always part of, and we never been left alone. We are within the structure of the creator, and we are within the meaning and understanding of the totality we come from and we go back to. We are, in essence, all the same. We come from the rays of the one creator, and we return back to the creator as the field and the strength and the dimension of manifestation comes to the same. Change the name to the soul of the creator. Change the name to the soul of the man. In essence, nothing has changed. The process is always the same. In interaction with the fields of its environment in the composition, the soul of the creator will manifest itself in the dimension of the soul of the man, in the dimension of the matter state, manifestation of physicality, in different time and position, but in fact is all the same and all take the same path, the same way, and the same direction, and the same manipulation of the fields we come from, and we go back to. When we are within the strength of the soul of the man and soul of creator is all the same. There is no difference. We are all equal in understanding of the totality. In interaction of the fields of the creator, which has created different environment, we manifest ourselves in different shape and forms. And would those of you who manifest or manifested in the direction, the closeness to the soul of the creator or soul of the man, you become that hormone, you become that more powerful strength, energy that leads to understand the more of, to become the giver to those who are weaker or a further distance, that one day, you will reach the soul to reign back on, to become part of the soul of the creator. So the strength of the hormone in the body of the man, if one understand, exists in the dimension of the hormone of the fields of the creator. It's the man who has to decide. Once you understand the knowledge of the creation, once you understand the process of the manifestation of the creator, mankind will become in so many ways so humble that the knowledge of the creation brings him humbleness. Does not bring arrogance, but he understands that he has nothing. He is nothing. And in so many ways, he has to be what to be. In so many ways, mankind needs to be the kind of man that understands the kind of creator he has come from, generous, omnipotent, and forever forgiving. In so many ways, mankind has now understand that he is the actual Eve, where the Adam is the creator. We are created from the love of the creator by the interaction of the fields of his strength, and we shall go back to become part of and be the creator of the ones to come and reign back on, to become the essence of the source of creation for the future of the life of not only mankind, but what we call the creator kind. That, in a way, leads the totality of the creation in the universe in one dimension, in one direction, in one dominion, to understanding of the totality of the creation. Blessed are those souls who understand. Today's teaching is extremely heavy for those of you who are too physical to understand the interaction. But in time, you or maybe your children will become too mature to understand the knowledge. As I was told, don't say you don't understand. You understand, but your limitation in comprehending totality stops you from path to the path of the creator, as it needs what I call devotion. It needs detachment to be able to take part and be part of this process of the creation. We have chosen, as I said, the path to the direction of the motion to understand the creation, and we started this path from 21st of March. Next week, we pass 21st of April. In that process, we start the process of understanding not only peace amongst the man, but the peace amongst men and those of the universe and universe. That this way, we are start to understand does not matter in what state of the matter we manifest ourselves, we are all in totality created from the same essence and from the same soul, be it on planet Zeus, be it on Earth or another dimension in the universe. And when man understands this, man puts away his animosity and his prejudices, as he is proud to be part of, irrespective of color, race, and religion and creed. Does not matter which part of the, not only this planet, but which part of the universe he decides to manifest or find home for his soul to manifest itself. Prejudices and racism is the part of those who are ignorant and in a way, through the lack of understanding of their own position, they find a position to protect from their own ignorance. Mankind has to put his racism, his prejudice of color, race, and religion aside, that now that we open into the space of universe, and most of the people of the universe have no religion because they know the path to the Creator, how would they handle their new position? Are they atheists, or are we become ignorant of the truth? Is there a religion in the dimension of the universe, in the universal community, or this has been a step for the man to mature itself to understanding, and in a way blocking himself to understand the totality of the creation? One of the first things which man will find out when he becomes a traveler of space, that there are no religions, because all religions, what we call, is the understanding of the process, the path to the Creator. And in today's teaching, I have shown you the path. So in a way, have you become atheists, or have you become to understand the process of the Creator and the creation? And in that path, has the religion been what we call phantom understanding of the truth by the man himself? Has it come to the point that we bring all religions to one name, the Creator, and we put aside our prejudices in respect to color, race, and religion, and the creed of not only this planet, but beyond? This is the reason that in the coming weeks and on, we call for world peace amongst men, as they understood, hopefully, part of the teaching of today, and understand they all come from the soul of the Creator. And in that process, he's never been any different in his strength and love to any of his created. Maybe it's time to take man down in the path of peace to the new understanding of the totality of the creation. Maybe we are reaching the point that mankind will stop in the path of destruction of his own soul and the soul of the others, that all are created from the same Creator. We have planted amongst man those of you who carry the true love of the Creator in becoming one as the members of the Universal Council. And in time, as you fail, you leave. As you fail to understand the totality of what we call the essence of the creation to be one, you shall not be able to serve, as you take prejudices in respect to the others and yourself, and separation from your soul and physicality. And in that process, once you reach that point of detachment, as I said many times, members of Universal Council will shine like stars, because they reflect the light of the Creator in interaction with the field of their souls, as the earth shines when it interacts with the fields of the solar systems and the soul of itself. As mankind will see the interaction of these fields as the daylight, as the shining star, as a path to the way, to show the way to the sun, that where it is and where it can manifest itself in different dimensions and dominions. In so many ways, today, in a very simple way, in a very, very simple way, I have explained to you the totality of the two paths which the physicality of the man has taken in the essence of the soul of the creation and the creator and itself to manifest itself at this point, time, and position. Maybe for the first time, you will understand why I have taken a position and an Earth Council as the dimension of physicality brings and gives guidance for man in the dimension of physicality to understand the position of his soul in respect to the creator in the dimension of physical life of man. As I could take place in a place as a position of universal council, as the members of the universal community within the structure of the soul of the council. Maybe many of you will become wise as we become more knowledgeable and understand our truth. We become more humble to let the others to elevate themselves, to become that level of high order. As we know, we have access to all. What's the use to be arrogant, and what is the purpose? Not to allow the others to learn, to guide themselves to the point of maturity. At one point, all men become a member of the council themselves through the dimension and the strength of their soul, and detached from the dimension of physicality. Maybe that's the point where we achieve the true world peace, not amongst the men, but all the creation and the creator of the creator. Now, it's for you to decide, is there a place for what we call the dimension of understanding of the creation in a physical dimension or the soul, or is there any place in the life of the man for the present line of thoughts in theology, where in theology exists dogmas of stopping man to understand the totality. I hope today's teaching brings you many facets and brings you many understanding. And I hope today's teaching has opened your eyes in a new way to understand the totality. In so many ways, we go further to understand the totality. In a way, we go further to understand the eventuality of existence in all dominion and dimensions of the creation and the creator. Maybe mankind become wise to understand the process of the creation for the first time. Maybe in understanding this process today, many of us will find a path to be able to feed our souls. Maybe in a way, through feeding our souls, we find a way to feed our physicality. If you understood the process of the extension and existence of the hormones, and then RNA, and then the DNA, and then the cell of the man. In so many ways, even a DNA is a soul itself, where in the interaction of the physicality of its fields leads to manifestation of that self, that DNA itself, in a dimension of the observation of the man itself. Today's teaching comes from the soul of the creator. And in so many ways, we hope you understood. And in so many ways, we have opened the path for mankind to find his way to the essence of the creation and the creator. Maybe in coming time, mankind matures to understand the totality. And in so many ways, do we need to become the fathers who are dead, to be the children who we lost, or we understand through the process that through the soul of the man, we never die. We have never lost a child, and we never lost a father. And in so many ways, maybe mankind become mature enough to find the Father as the creator, has always been with the man, and the man as a child has chosen the path of play to find, maybe to mature, to add to the knowledge of the creator, to become the Father himself. Maybe in the relics of understanding of Christianity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit become to understand the truth about the Creator hidden in the verses that the man could understand in the dimension of physicality. Maybe now we understand the Son and the Father are the same in essence of creation. Is the man who has find and to find the spirit or the soul of his own existence in the dimension of creation. We take a break, and then we come back to if there are any questions, and if any of you would like to elaborate your understanding of today's. How do you feel? How much of it have you understood? And how much of it has enlightened you to become the path, to find your way to the path of the Creator? If you're ready, go for a break.